First and foremost, guys, by the time you guys see this video, I will have another video. It's cooking. It's cooking right here. Recall deck is gonna be hilarious. It's about 50% done. It took a while for me to edit because it's hilarious. I promise you it's going to be hilarious. And if I keep saying hilarious, do you think it's going to be hilarious? I don't know. But I really want you guys to check that out. So I will link it to this video once it's live, just so you guys have an idea. We'll also be doing, like I said, I'll be doing whatever this card, if I can make a prediction, or if you guys can make a prediction of what the hell is going on in these cards, then maybe we can have some more fun with that. But the Twitter page reads, Darkin Rage seeps into every corner of Runeterra, leaving none unscathed. New cards from Bilgewater, Bandle City, and more face off in domination. Take a closer look at their on Mobalytics. Alright, so I'm waiting for it to drop on Lore AR because it just looks better there. I think it's 5 cards, but they're showing 4 here. Anywho, the Darkin Harpoon. there's a Darkin Harpoon now. Okay, there it is. So attack, draw a 1 at round start, and grant it fleeting. You may spend 9 mana to play me as Ibaros, and that's the other thing. The thing I thought was Mordekaiser. And so we have a cheap Bilgewater, a Harpoon now, and that pretty much you'll never use the plunder one. You probably never use that ever again in your life. You're just gonna use this one. It's Darkin, it's equipped, it's everything that you want and more. So what does this guy do? I have +1/+1 for each card you've drawn this game. I can only be blocked by allies with 4 or more power. So it kind of synergizes with the other card that was revealed, right? They have to have at least 4 power, which means it does have some type of synergy. It is a Darkin. It's a Darkin unit, but it's from the thing. So this one you'd have to combine. By the way, you'd have to actually combine it with one of the regions. It's not a cultist card, so you can't just put it in with all the other nonsense. Obviously, this is pretty good. I think if you were to like draw in the game, so like that's. You gotta know how absolutely insane that is. That even like a basic draw deck, like I think like at turn 9, right? Let's say if I'm assuming you draw on regular cards regularly, right? Wouldn't it still be a 9/9 or 9/9 10/10 or something like that, depending on that? And then if you add any other draw influence into it, it is now way worse than that. It doesn't have Overwhelm. Its own Harpoon does give Fearsome, which is pretty good as well. So obviously, really good card here. I can't fathom anything. I think this is obviously just more support. Nothing tingling the jingling of the bells are at the moment. All right. So that's really cool. Really good for the draw archetype. Next up is going to be Test of Spirit. Give an enemy vulnerable this round. If it dies this round, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. This is a main deckable card. It's not a actual like card from another card. That is so we had the one before, right? What is it? The vulnerable, you make it vulnerable, not focus speed, I think it's slow speed, and then if you kill it, you get to draw a card, which would actually synergize with Ibaros, right? And which is crazy that I just look back at the Darkin Harpoon is that it's attack and then that happens, so it has absolutely nothing to do with striking. So as soon as that unit attacks, you get that effect, and it just starts adding on to Ibaros nonsense. Ibaros probably is how you probably say it. I feel like it has a little Hispanic accent in there. But this one's pretty cool. If it dies, you do 1 to the enemy nexus. It's like forcing a unit to do like an impact kind of thing. It's a cool card. I don't see how you run it though. I don't see how you slot that into a deck unless there's a way to potentially like it's like a keyword that you can like keep on them or something. I don't see how you do it. I don't see how you actually utilize this. It's not a passive or skill, so I'm not thinking Catalyst. I'm thinking T-Bulk or nothing like that. It just seems silly. Now, if it is an ability, like if it creates a skill on the stack, that would be great. They would synergize with a bunch of stuff. But this card just seems terribly bad. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something on that one. So next up is Scrappy's Partapalooza Landmark. Another land. How about to say Bandle City? Yeah, Bandle City Landmark. When I'm discarded, summon me. When you summon a Mecha grant it a random keyword. That is absolutely busted as fuck. That's insane. Oh boy. And it's not once per turn. And on top of that, actually no, he is. Okay, so Rumble is considered a Mecha Yoro. I wasn't sure. For some reason, I thought maybe he's just a Yoro. So no, if you have this and you discard it earlier, or you use Rumble to discard it, it will summon itself immediately. And then Rumble now has Quick Attack, Impact, Spell Shield, and something else random. Maybe Lifesteal or Tough or some nonsense like that. Definitely helping out the archetype a lot. That's crazy. I like this card a lot. Obviously only for Rumble or discard decks, but discard decks I think are slowly and surely getting more and more support by having cards that generate a bunch of cards, or just having cards that, like, when I'm discarded, this happens. So I think that the discard thing, like maybe Jinx will start to pop back up again with a bunch of cards, or maybe even like the university. I've actually been thinking about the university. I'm not gonna lie. I've been thinking about the Heimer University card, seeing if there was some weird combos that I can come up with. But it really isn't. It's just a bunch of random cards, right? A bunch of random cards that come out every turn. I think you get 3 every turn or something like that. And then whatever you draw on the stack, I don't know what deck could like really utilize that. But a discard deck could, because you'd always have cards to discard that you don't care about because they're just randomly generated. And then you're playing off the draw each time. But hey, maybe that will be a thing. Maybe it will be a thing. And then they have some more cards, right? Yes, they do. Okay, so it's more than 5 cards. For some reason, I thought it was 5 cards. So, Fracture. All right, so we have deal 1 to everything, or destroy a unit's equipment. So we have another equipment destruction card, and the deal 1 to everything obviously synergizes with a lot of the other cards. It would even work really well in some of these decks that I was putting out. It works well in the Freljord Vlad deck. By the way, that video still needs 100 likes if you guys want to see Vlad Demacia. But this one's really cool. This one's actually really cool because it allows you to kind of synergize with that deck, synergize with anything with that archetype. Also, it is a 2 mana hit the Nexus for 1. You are hitting their Nexus and your Nexus for 1. You also are dealing damage. A 2 mana AoE sweep is kinda nuts. I'm actually surprised that that's printed. It makes me even think about like obviously like Karma as well, because then that's 2 damage everywhere. But also I'm also thinking like a Tybalt deck or something like that. Like you're just pinging in the face for 2 mana. Like that card's kind of busted. I actually think that card's busted. I don't think it would immediately see things because I feel like people won't see. Now I have to watch everyone's review and reaction video, but I actually think that card's really solid. I think that you'll see that a lot because, you know, Avalanche, yes, it only does 1 damage, but like that combined with Flock or Scorch Earth or something like that, it just becomes a little nutty. And even in a Swain deck, right? You ping everything 1. Boom, for 2 mana, like very low committal, very low mana. And I think that's what makes that card really busted. I think that card actually probably ends up getting nerfed to 3 like months down the road. Next up is going to be a 9 mana Freljord card, Warden of the Tribes. When I'm summoned, grant all allies +1/+1 for each different subtype you summoned this game. So subtype was funny because we've had a card like this in the the labs, the Path of Champions, and it's like when you summon something with a subtype, it gives it +1/+1 or something like that. Now, what is a subtype? Subtype would be stuff like this. So Mecha Yordle, Dragon, Ascended. Shen, as you can see, has no subtype. Tarek has none. These cards do not have anything. So that's what technically a subtype is supposed to be. Elite would be one, Yordle. So in Freljord, specifically, because that's where the card is from, right? We would look at with stuff like, obviously Poro would be one, right? Poro is a very popular subtype. Portal, Yeti, Enoch, I think is one of them, right? Where is it? I think it's like the first one. It's like a 4 mana cost one. Where the hell are these stupid things? Elnuk, there we go, Elnuk, Enoch, Elnuk, Weapon Master. Freljord actually, and I think that's why they put it in Freljord, because it actually, there's a decent amount of them, right? In comparison also to having stupid stuff like the Howling Abyss, maybe you can do that, but you're also obviously going to be running this with another thing. Like this could be its own little archetype, but the problem is that one, it is Grant, so they do keep it in there, and then yes, you can also summon it multiple times, and it also has Overwhelm, and it will give itself those +1/+1 stats. It is a finisher, but at the same time, it is 9 mana, you know, 9 mana, and you need a board to do it, but at the same time, Giving the type of deck that you might run it in, I think that at the very least you're gonna at least see it become a, what you're hoping is for it to be a 9/9/9 that also grants other stuff to the board. You're playing at least elites, sorry, not elite, you're at least playing Yetis and maybe Poros with this, so maybe it's a 9 mana 8/8 that also gives +2/+2 to everything else. The card actually can be utilized in many different ways, I think. Many different ways. I think it's actually pretty cool. It's good. I think that it will definitely be a YouTube killer. Like, a lot of people are gonna make a deck just because of YouTube because of this card, but I think that in the end it's not gonna see much like a lot of 8/9 drops that don't like immediately end the game. I mean, what is it, the Shurima one did some good work, but that's it. Next up of this is going to be Twilight Protector, a Daybreak Nightfall card. Give Daybreak allies +1/+1 this round. I'm assuming that's itself as well, which is really strong. 2 mana, buff the board again. So it also, again, it makes Leona's buff just seems, or her change just really stupid, because actually if they're gonna have these many ways to buff the board and go wide, I actually think that Overwhelm does that. Makes more sense that she does that. And then you also have the Nightfall aspect of it, so grant allies +1. So the Daybreak one is only for the round, but the Nightfall one actually sticks onto the units. And I think right now with Nocturne making his little headlines, I do think that that's actually pretty strong, especially on fearsome units, and then possibly, you know, now they don't have Overwhelm, but they're fearsome. And then you're also giving that to those little mini things like those little dogs as well. So I do think that that card is, this card is actually pretty good. I think it's going to be an auto include in Nightfall and Daybreak decks, because either or, either or you're doing that. If you drop him on curve, he's a 2 mana 3/3. Very similar to the 1-drop, right? 1 mana 3/3 for the time being, but this one's a 2 mana 3/3 that also could buff the last thing that you just played and back to a 3/3. So now you have 2 3/3s on the field, and if you have any other Daybreak units, they also get those buffs as well. Almost makes me want to go, what is it? Are we going Leona Bard? Is we going Leona Bard Daybreak deck? Is that what we're doing here? But so far, this might be one of the better reveals that they've done in general, right? Like, it's just a lot of solid cards. But I'll openly admit, I think that this is just a card drop, and there's no themed card here that can do this, because we have 3 Build-Water. This is 1 Build-Water card, right? And then 2. Is it 2 Bandle City? No, 1 Bandle City, then 2 Freljord, and then a whatchamacallit card, then a Targon card. I don't think that there's an actual card here to accompany like a champion that's gonna come out that it's like, yes, this makes sense with all this. Like, no, I think that this it's just a card drop. So there will be no follow-up video as far as a prediction with how the champion is going to work. But I said I will be doing that if I can predict the champion. If you guys have something, let me know. So just check out and wait for that lovely video. It's still cooking as I'm talking. As I'm talking, you know, it's still cooking. 69%. Oh, baby. Giggity, giggity, right? So what do you guys think about these new cards? Which one is your favorite? Let me, hold on. Let me think. I think the Partapalooza might be my favorite, because I like that it literally synergizes within a thing. And also, if you have multiple of these things out, then it's gonna be just like the Husk thing, that Solitude guy. It's just like your Mecha Yordles start to get multiple keywords, and it grants them a random keyword. So I don't know if it can brick. If it actually, I don't know if it bricks like certain cards that they won't stack on a keyword that's already there. Like, the only stackable keyword is Impact, right? So I don't know if you can just unlock it and get Impact. But it would be cool to see multiple of these things out. Rumble gets a bunch of random cool keywords, and he just kind of like goes crazy, and then you start summoning other Mecha Yordles, and they just start going crazy as well. So I look forward to this card a lot. The Darkin Harpoon is a strong second. If it could be first, strong second. This card is absolutely garbage. Ayabaros will be insane. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of decks that will run him. He's going to definitely be a YouTube star. You're going to see a lot of people trying to see how much they can do that. Like, maybe even a deck where they're putting stuff back into your own deck to give you more cards, so then you can draw more cards and not run out. And what will be the highest that you can have Abaros? What is the highest attack you can have Abaros at? But then he gets silenced, he gets hushed, and he turns down to a 0/0. Does he just die? If you hush him, does he die? Dude, if you hush, does it die? Oh, I have to see that. That'd be so funny. Then the second thing I think, I love this card. I love Fracture and I love the Twilight Protector. And Warden of the Tribes is good. I guess so there's only one card I think is absolute garbage can. So yes, again, for the 5th time, I know. Like, comment, subscribe, and also let me know what you guys feel about these reveals. And I will see you guys in that recall video. Please, prepare. Get water in your mouth so to prepare to spit it out, I promise. Anyways, I'm out.